doing this in one single take. I don't care about editing. I want to get this out because I thought it'd be fun. Uh, Welcome to the iconic podcast that everyone's been talking about. The podcast where I fucking go on a ramble for where I ramble for like 20 minutes at least. Uh, I don't know if my phone can handle recording more than a few minutes, but I wanted to give this a try because I have the time now. Well, I thought it'd be fun to, you know, have a few topics to talk about, have a few things, just basically scream my lungs out into something. And, podcasting sounds fun. It sounds like something interesting. I want to give it a try. I'm not gonna be professional because being professional sucks. I don't care. You can skin me alive for doing any of that sort of thing. But yeah, this is gonna be uh, the iconic podcast that everyone's been talking about, and well, nobody's gonna be talking about this shit. Like only like two people are just gonna sit here and just listen to me fucking speak like like a moron. I can't say slurs. I cannot say them. Anyway, yeah, I will not be editing this very well. I'm just gonna be doing cutting, editing, a few things, just yapping, just fixing stuff. Uh, there's a few reasons why I wanted to do this, and I've already said some because it's fun to talk. It's gets me. I just think it's fun, and because I have the time now, I think you know what, that is worth my time. I should probably do it since I'm not doing a whole other lot besides my own little personal things. Uh, yeah. So there's not a lot I want to talk about. I did have some notes, but I cannot get them right now, so it doesn't matter. I don't care. So why am I doing this? There's not a lot to talk about. Well, I was eating a burger earlier, and I was just heating. Didn't heat it up. It's just like cold burger. And while I was eating the burger, I was like, you know what? I should probably start this stupid project, this stupid podcast, this one person rambling. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like long ramblings, short ramblings, different topics, small topics, all of that. But these are gonna be recorded normally. Um, and hopefully I'll have a fun time while doing them. Depends how long they are. Depends. It really depends because I've got things to do. Well, not things. I have nothing to do. I have like absolutely no other thing to be doing other than talking. It also no, there's no also. Yeah. So I'm going to try and get a podcast episode every once a week. That is my current goal. Once a week. I'm going to be recording a lots of them throughout this week or the next one. And that means that there'll be a slurpus. So if this is tiring me out, I can just be like, I'll upload a few more and then I'll make my final one. Yeah. This is a social experiment. There's not gonna be unless unless I strike it lucky. Strike it lucky like that one buff from Bed Wars where you can just get diamonds from not diamonds, emeralds from your generator. Okay. If I strike it lucky, if I get super duper extremely lucky, I should not be able to profit from this. If I do manage to profit, then I'm set. I'm gonna start making money. This is just a coy for me to start making money in a way that doesn't involve work. Definitely, totally. No, yeah. I'm just doing this for fun. It sounds really interesting for me to just be like, blah, 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 yada, 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 and stuff. Now, the the branding of this podcast, I want to have a set theme. Well, visually, like as of right now, the cover of it should be a little character I drew and a stock microphone with the title on it. And there should be a video of a Markiplier playthrough in one of the corners. Uh, yeah, I just want to have a little silly theme, something funny. Well, it's gonna be a podcast. Nobody's gonna like visually watch it, stare at the screen. They're just gonna have it on the background, hopefully. But yeah. So this is my podcast. Oh, the theme. Yeah, the theme. The little set theme, the visual theme is just it's homestucky. It's homestuck. That's it. It's just my little troll sona, just talking, just sitting there doing nothing, because I couldn't think of anything else. Because it's just like funny or worth doing. Could change the thumbnail every now and then, but it really depends on how it goes. Uh, mm, I don't think I'd have any other person on this because why would I? It's like stupid. This is a one person show, a passion project that I think would be funny to execute because I have the time now. And because I can do it, it means that, well, I can do a lot of things, but those are just social things, stupid things I must do. So, yeah, this is my podcast, and because I brought it up earlier, I'm going to be talking about burgers. I got a burger. I made burgers. They're Bubba brand burgers, just American cheese, cold, with a bottle of Pepsi because I don't want to buy Coca-Cola. And there's no waters. There's only like sparkling water. And the sparkling water tastes like fucking like battery acid, dipped in water. It's like fizzy and annoying. Well, a lot of soft drinks are fizzy and annoying, but I am a fat piece of garbage and I eat a lot of food, which in turn would be a health concern, to have something like diabetes or like just overall obesity, but I'm somehow not dead. Uh, I'm not diagnosed with uh, obesity or like no, not obesity, with diabetes. I'm not a diabetic for some reason because I should be. I eat like unhealthy amounts of food, and yeah, just got a cold burger. While I was thinking about podcasts, I was just sitting there. So I sit down on the chair, burger both in my hands, just scrumptious burger. And then the idea popped up. I should make a podcast. I should talk into my phone like a schizophrenic for like hours. No hours, like 20 minutes. Or like less, depending on how much gas I can do. But this is the first episode. It's gonna be short. It's gonna be long, short, It depends. It depends. Everyone has a starting point, you know? Where, yeah. One of the things I do want to do is get into actually good media because, as you can tell, I am a Homestuck fan. I do want to talk about a lot of my favorite medias throughout this social experiment, which is the podcast. It's just like, I want to see how it goes. I want to see if I can do this. But having some form of steam and motivation to do so is important. Well, I'm no professional podcaster, but I do like to talk a lot. And I haven't been able to do that, and because I'm in a not desperate, I'm like I can do this now. I'm gonna just start talking about stuff. This is gonna be the iconic podcast that everyone's gonna be talking about. There, title drop. Put it in a box, send it all over the world. I'm a millionaire now, and because I'm a millionaire, I'm gonna buy a box of burgers, specifically burgers that don't have onions in them. Yeah, I don't like. Okay, I used to have a. I had a burger. It was frozen patty. We bought a burger from the my no. I went to buy a burger patty thing from the nearby shop, and and it apparently had onions in it. It was like infused with onions, and the patties broke up very easily. They just crumbled and they were like annoying. And they also smelled bad, which was really much some sort of surprise. I didn't really expect to have the burger smell like that or like taste like that, but they're like good. In other retrospects of food stories, not everyone has had a good meal. Not everyone really eats well intentionally or like by accident, People sometimes just have a bad meal. Like the chef is just having a rough time or they just hate you and want you dead. But yeah, the food is a very interesting concept. This is gonna be the fucking this is gonna be the food episode. The episode where I talk about food and how gross some of it is. And it's gonna be the first one and I'm just gonna feel obese and fat. Fatter. I'm gonna feel fat. But yeah. Some people just don't have good food. I went to do some laundry, and my dad was like, we should get some food. We should get some Chinese food because your brother asked for us to get Chinese. And because one of the Chinese stores were closed, we had to go to a Chinese restaurant. And my dad ordered beef and broccoli with rice, and then we got three other orders of sweet and sour chicken, and then some chicken and rice. And when we got home, turns out that my dad had shrimp and broccoli, and my mom had just like burnt rice and chicken in like those little like Chinese boxes. No, that's Chinese food boxes that have like those little metal handles. And the sweet and sour chicken was actually not chicken. It was this sweet and sour mystery fish because I don't know what kind of fish it was. I cannot tell fish apart, and it tasted like fish. And the sweet and sour sauce was like, okay, it's just sweet and sour. And the rice was also burnt. There was pieces of burnt food in there. I think there was a hair in it as well, which made it a bit gross. And it gave me some very, very bad stomach aches. And and then I don't know if we're gonna buy there from there again because the other Chinese place is good. But either way, the other Chinese food place isn't even good. It's like it's just yucky. It's like a bit greasy, a bit hard to stomach. That's probably just me or the food, but that's really just how it is with the food nearby. And yeah, just make sure you don't get any like greasy, disgusting food. Just consume things that you like, consume things that you're willing to eat. And in general, you have to consume things that you have to enjoy, like medias. You have to enjoy good medias like video games or stories, webcomics, even fan fiction if that counts. I haven't unironically read any fan fictions. I've read a fan fiction. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy. I read a Loud House fan fiction, but not for the reason you're thinking. I read it because I was like, scrolling through Instagram. I saw a reel that's like, there's this iconic. Here's the iconic Loud House fan fiction that has House MD. like the house from that medical show in it. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna read it until I get to house. I was talking to someone. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna read this for because I want to torture myself and because I think it's funny and I want to know how well written House is because at the time I was releasing a lot of House. I even watched a bit of House episodes and stuff. I was like, you know what? I want to see how House is portrayed in this. And turns out that the fan fiction, I only read 2 chapters of it because the House MD cameo was on the second chapter. I thank fucking God I don't have to read it again. I read it, and it turns out just like Lincoln Loud is just dying out of a sudden because he got kicked in the head with a ball. And then apparently the author wanted to be like sentimental, depressing, and sad. But it just made a House MD like House MD fanfiction. It's just House telling a child that is going to fucking die and reflecting on the fact that death itself is like stupid and whatever. All that all that stuff that makes you question yourself about life and stuff. It was supposed to be depressing, but it just made it like insane. It's insane. It's just like House telling a child that he's gonna die and that he's gonna die forever and whatnot. And it's like, it's stupid. That's like the entire plot of that fan fiction, or what I read of it, because I only read 2 chapters. It's stupid. It's just like, oh, well, Lincoln Loud is going to die. Have fun with that. That's what I got. It sucks. I don't want to read that anymore. But House was really written well, which scares me, because it's just like, yep, House would do this. House would walk into a hospital bed with a child on a. House would walk into the hospital, into a hospital room, with his cane, and the cane has like little flames on it, like little like sticker flames, like you see in like those like monster trucks that have like little flame decoration and stuff. He would walk in with a cane like that and just tell a child, "Hey, you're dying," and move on with his day. Yeah, you have to consume good medias. You have to consume good medias and stuff. I'm not saying that's a good media. I'm just saying that, it's funny, but I'm just like ranting. This is the ranting podcast. This is the podcast, the iconic podcast where I rant like an idiot. So it doesn't really matter. This is take 1, by the way. I'm not sure if I'm gonna redo it again. So if there's any microphone issues, screw you. But whatever. Back to good media. There's a lot of good media out there that I really want to talk about. Specifically, Homestuck. No, I'm kidding. I would like to get people into Homestuck, but Homestuck itself is like a little thing. And I don't want to talk about Homestuck because I want to make a Homestuck episode, Or I discuss the ins and outs of Homestuck and stuff. Well, without spoiling, of course. I'll have a script by then. There's a lot of other cool mirrors. There's Ultra Kill. It has lore, but the lore itself is very minimal and often implied. There's, I'd say Torem Online. I believe it's like a side continuation of another game called Ruins of Iruna, or like Iruna Online. And I really like the game. It's very PS2 graphics. It's a cute little MMORPG, But it's definitely slowing down. It fell out of popularity since like 2000 something. It was before 2020 where it fell off and stuff. There's just a lot of things that I want to talk about in the iconic podcast that everyone is talking about. Or at least things that I want to do. Or not do, but talk about. For next episode, I'll definitely be more prepared. I'll definitely have a general script, a general idea. I might get burnt out and not do anything, but It just really depends on how I feel about it, you know? I've said it a bit of earlier, but this is just like a social experiment. This is a thing that I want to mess around with. I want to figure out if I like this or not, and if I'm a fan of it, and if I can manage to do it like often, then it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be amusing to me and myself. Now, before I end the episode, I want to just say that, if you did listen to me ramble on for 20 minutes, as it says on my phone, well, thank you for listening to me yap and talk like an idiot. Uh, I will have more episodes out soon. I will try to get this over with. Not over with, like, start doing it. I will have more funny jokes. I will have more things to talk about because, yeah, I'm gonna end the episode now, The iconic podcast that everyone's been talking about will soon be more fleshed out. I'll probably do at least 5 episodes and at most 20. I'm just getting like a little whole point, getting started, But thank you for listening, and I'll catch you whenever later. Okay, bye.